Daniel? What's going on?
Amara, I can explain.
Daniel, who is this? I trusted you.
The moment Amara saw him, her heartbeat stopped. Not slowed, not skipped, stopped. She stood at the entrance of the wedding hall, her white dress shining under soft golden lights, while guests turned to admire the bride. Music played gently in the background, flowers filled the air with a sweet scent, and cameras flashed from every direction. Everything was perfect. Everything was planned. Everything was supposed to feel happy. But across the hall, standing comfortably near the drinks table, laughing with strangers as if he belonged there, was the one person she never expected to see again. Daniel. The man who once promised to marry her. The man who broke her heart without looking back. And the worst part was that he was staring directly at her, yet his face showed no sign that he knew who she was. Amara felt her fingers tremble around her bouquet. For a second, she wondered if stress was making her imagine things. Maybe her mind was playing tricks on her on such an emotional day. But when he laughed again and turned slightly, she saw him clearly. It was truly him. 5 years disappeared in an instant. Back then, Amara had been a quiet university student who believed deeply in love. She lived a simple life, focused on her studies, and avoided unnecessary attention. While others chased parties and popularity, she preferred peaceful evenings and careful planning for her future. She met Daniel during a group assignment in their final year. He was confident, charming, and naturally social. People liked him easily. He joked often, spoke boldly, and carried himself like someone destined for success. He noticed Amara because she was different. "You are the only serious person here," he told her one afternoon, smiling. "Please help me pass this course." She laughed shyly, surprised by how comfortable she felt around him. From that day, he stayed close to her. Messages every morning, calls late at night, random visits just to see her smile. He made her feel important in ways she had never experienced before. Soon, they became inseparable. Daniel called her his future wife even before they officially started dating. At first, she thought he was joking, but he repeated it so often that she began to believe him. He planned imaginary futures with her, where they would live, what jobs they would have, even the number of children they wanted. Amara trusted him completely. Loving him felt natural, safe, and certain. On her birthday, during their final year, Daniel surprised her with dinner at a slow restaurant filled with candlelight. She thought it was just a celebration until he brought out a simple silver ring. After graduation, he said softly, "Let's get married." Tears filled her eyes as she agreed. In that moment, she believed her life was already decided. But after graduation, everything changed. Daniel became distant. His calls reduced, messages turned short and cold. Whenever she asked to see him, he always had an excuse. Work stress, meetings, new opportunities. Amara tried to understand. She told herself adulthood came with pressure. Then one evening, she decided to surprise him. She brought his favorite food and went to his apartment without telling him. Before she could knock, she heard laughter inside. A woman's laughter. Her heart pounded as Daniel opened the door. Shock crossed his face when she saw her standing there. Behind him stood another woman wearing one of his shirts. Silence filled the room. Amara waited for an explanation, an apology, anything. But Daniel only sighed, as if she was the inconvenience. "It's not what you think," he said weakly. It was exactly what she thought. The argument that followed destroyed everything. Daniel said he needed someone more ambitious, someone who matched his new lifestyle. He spoke as if she was too simple, too ordinary for the future he wanted. "What about our plans?" she asked, her voice trembling. He avoided her eyes. People change. That single sentence ended years of love. No apology came. No attempt to fix what he broke. Amara walked away that night feeling as though the ground beneath her life had disappeared. The months that followed were painful. She cried quietly at night and avoided places that reminded her of him. Every memory felt heavy. Every promise felt like a lie. But slowly, pain turned to determination. Instead of waiting for closure, she focused on rebuilding herself. She worked harder, gained professional certifications, and secured a stable job. She learned confidence, improved her appearance, and discovered strength she never knew she had. Little by little, she stopped being the girl who needed validation from love. 2 years later, she met Kelichi. He was calm and steady, the opposite of Daniel's dramatic charm. He listened more than he spoke. He respected her opinions and supported her goals without trying to change her. Love with him felt peaceful. There were no grand promises, only consistent actions. When he proposed, he simply said, "I promise respect, honesty, and partnership." Amara said yes because she felt safe. And now she stood in her wedding dress, ready to begin a new chapter, until the past walked back into her life. Her best friend Chioma noticed her frozen expression. "What's wrong?" she whispered. Amara swallowed slowly. "That man near the drinks table, that's my ex." Chioma's eyes widened. Before Amara could decide what to do, Daniel began walking towards her. Each step felt louder than the music playing in the hall. She prepared herself for shock, guilt, or awkward recognition. Instead, he smiled politely like a stranger. "Congratulations," he said warmly. "You look beautiful, bride." Her breath caught. He extended his hand. "I'm Daniel. I walk with the groom." The world tilted. He didn't recognize her. Not even a little. Amara shook his hand slowly, confusion swelling inside her. Years of memories meant nothing in his eyes. She had once been the center of his world, yet she was now just another bride he was meeting for the first time. "Thank you," she managed to say. He nodded kindly and walked away. The realization hurt more than the breakup ever had. Being forgotten felt worse than being rejected. The ceremony soon began. Music filled the hall as guests stood. Amara walked down the aisle towards Kelichi, who smiled at her with warmth and pride. She focused on him, reminding herself that this was her future. But during the ceremony, she noticed Daniel speaking urgently to one of the groomsmen. The man's expression changed immediately. He walked quickly to Kelechi and whispered something into his ear. Kelechi's smile faded. Slowly, he turned towards Daniel, then towards Amara. Confusion filled his face. The priest paused, sensing tension. The hall grew unusually quiet. Kelechi looked directly at her, his voice low but shaking. "Amara, is there something you never told me?" Her heart dropped, because at that moment, she realized the past she thought was buried had followed her all the way to the altar, and whatever Daniel had said was about to change everything.